Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a kitchen robot to cook it all, spin a top with turbo, and the ceiling sport revolution is about to begin. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out and find projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am Ktdata, one half of the show, and joining me is a man who is so great and so dedicated to having his kids learn and always increase their vocabulary that he'll mysteriously put his crossword puzzles in a convenient place that his kids can steal so they can do it before bedtime. The one and only Drew Tyler. How are you doing today, my friend?
Good. I'm good. She's still at Fair and Square. I've been working on crosswords the last couple of days. I'm trying to feel a little smarter about myself. But she came in and showed me she put in a couple of them. These are hard ones. These are hard.
I don't know. I thought I read somewhere that for you to remain sharp and decreases your chances of getting Alzheimer's and stuff, you should do a crossword every single day.
It makes sense. Like it starts moving things in there. You got to think and find.
Yeah, and then here I am, the lazy one, who are like, I ain't got no time for that.
I have stuff to do.
So maybe that's why I'm the dumb one in this group.
More crosswords.
Yeah, I got to do more crosswords. Why don't we have a Kickstarter that will automatically deliver me crosswords every day? There you
go. Crosswords.
Yes, let's add Bluetooth to it. I think we can make this work. All right, so if it's your first time watching the show, first of all, welcome. I always have to find something to say to the Drew because I'm jealous of his skills, his looks, and just his suave that he manages to do during every single day. And I'm like, I can't even be 10% of that.
You crack me up.
So, if it's your first time, first of all, welcome. And before we jump into our project of the night, and we got some interesting ones, we got some controversy too, as I researched one of them because I made sure that I cracked before I backed, and it came up with some stuff this time around. So, but before that, we have some quick news to cover. First of all, it is in Kickstarter, and I've noticed more and more Kickstarter makes these changes, and then they don't announce them, so sometimes we miss them. This one is actually, they've made a slight tweak to their search bar, if you can find it on their website. They've actually announced that you can now search for creator names, and it will pop up in the search bar.
That's interesting.
So that's fancy. So their example is like they had Ellie Blue. He or she has launched 25 projects. So now you can actually type her name into the box, and it will pop up. And it does like the Google search type thing where it gives you suggestions too. So it'll give you the categories that her name's been found in, or you can click on her profile type thing, and then you can do a follow. So like you follow them on Twitter, on Facebook, and I think that should let you know when they launch a new project and stuff. So if you have like a serial Kickstarter creator, this is actually a good way to find them and see what else they've done. And it helps with crack too. So you can search for the creator and see if there's any other projects they've been involved in.
That would make sense. Then you'd be able to see some history of what they've been able to deliver or not deliver. That's a good question. I was thinking, like, really, how many serial creators are there? I ran 2-3 Kickstarters, and they had to be so far apart. Like,
we should try this. Is your name in here? Let's see. No.
I keep hitting, weren't under my name. They were for companies.
I keep hitting start project. I don't know why, but let's see. Let's type in Drew. No, there's no H in your name. Tyler. Look at that. Creators. Drew Tyler.
And you find the one that I ran under my account. That didn't
click on it, and then right there, raising kids, raising animals. So
yeah, that's when we tried to work with another company to run a documentary, and about 15-20 days into the Kickstarter, they're like, let's just do it next year. Yeah. We're like, we're in the middle of something here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. Backed 42 projects. Joined April 2012. Look at that, fancy. Around, right? And I'm looking at your wheel too. Oh, I always get distracted when I look at people's profiles, just seeing how their wheels
are. How many serial Kickstarter creators are out there? But I
think there are a couple. Like
especially with the Make 100s now.
Yeah, one of the serial Kickstarter project makers that I have is it's actually a company. It's John Covey, I think is how you say the name, from Genius Games. I'll talk a little bit more about it in a kick shout because he actually has another project, but he has kind of become what I call those instabacks. There's a few of them, like Andrew Allen, I'd have as an instaback. Jason Howell's stuff I put as an instaback
Yeah,
too. I've noticed a lot of musicians. So like I think it makes sense if you're following a musician, and they tend to come
true.
out um, as things like, I mean, if Scott Weiser, I'd put him as a instaback.
Yeah,
I like all the things he's been doing. Um, as I'm looking through my history to see which of these people I would kind of regularly follow to see
yeah.
what stuff is. And Drew, you got to catch up. I'm at 83 projects, and I joined March
Oh,
2012, so we're not that far apart.
no, we're not. No, we're
In
not.
terms of, well, so catch up, man. Catch up. All right, so that's a kind of interesting way to do things. So for our next one, this has always been interesting because one of the things that Kickstarter has always promoted about crowdfunding is it's not a store. You're helping fund a idea to make it become fruition. Well, I guess it's a little closer to the store than we think, because a judge in the UK actually um, actually ruled that the Spectrum Vega Plus guys, so I think they're called Retro Computers Limited. Um, a judge ruled that in their backing that it was considered a contract because they said he would receive one of these products because it's a handheld ZX Spectrum. Do you remember the ZX Spectrum? It was an old
I don't.
console. I think it was more popular in the UK. That's why in the BBC, but they haven't delivered. They raised a whole ton of money too. It was £512, which is a fair chunk of change. About 2 years ago, I think this was
Hmm,
almost mentioned as a project. I think I don't think we actually mentioned it as a project. Maybe we did. Um,
I don't remember. I don't remember it, but I
but I
remember
remember
showing it.
seeing this 2 years ago. They still haven't delivered, and they've been citing delays and stuff. And it's actually gotten worse now because not only that, the judge ruled that they have to pay the backer who hasn't gotten his console yet the money back plus fees and all that good stuff. Indiegogo has actually they actually went to in demand because they had enough. They suspended the in demand because they had lack of communication with the backers and they kept delaying the product. And it's gotten to
Mm-hmm.
the point now that Indiegogo has issued them that they have until the end of May to deliver these projects, or they're going to send a third party collection agencies to get the funds back so they can refund it to the backers.
Ouch. Serious. I mean, really, what? If you were communicating, you could at least say we had these troubles or this happened. But if they're incommunicado, then yeah,
Yeah,
time to go in and get money.
so like I was looking into this. There's a lot of kind of history that's gone through this too because not only did they delay stuff, the like original creators and the programmers didn't deliver some of the codes because they had a um uh falling out with the company, and
Mm,
then they, there were some legal issues with that too. So like they say they're still around, but they still haven't delivered anything either. And I looked through the project. They posted like 3 big updates last, but I'm still not that confident about them delivering because they say they should start shipping units in April, but they've been promising that for a while now. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
seems like I don't think this is going to set, it's a hard and fast rule that Indiegogo is going to go after everybody who doesn't deliver the project. But it looks like the courts are kind of more in the favor of, hey, they gave you money, you promised a item, you better deliver. So if you're a project creator, you may want to put that into consideration too.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
where this is in the UK, so it's not going to hold up in US court, but who knows that you might see more and more people trying to take legal
Yeah.
action for this. And
I said it's
it's
still precedent, right? I mean, it
yeah.
still could spark off more action like
Yeah,
that.
and how do you feel about Indiegogo actually taking an active role in this?
I'm okay with it. Like, really,
Like
they're trying to build a platform that protects the consumers and the buyers. I think it's fine.
yeah, and I thought it was super interesting too that they to the point where they said they would send a collection agency off to get their money, which is totally nuts. And then so that's something you may want to consider. And I wish Kickstarter would do more of this, but they're totally we're hands off type thing. Where Indiegogo, I feel like they're more invested to trying to get these projects successful than Kickstarter is. And then so our last,
Tough love.
yeah,
Spelled tough love.
yep, our last bit of news that we wanted to mention. This is more for project creators. We're not going to go into super depth on it, but we'll link it on our site on doubleburst.net,
Oh,
um,
on KickCast.
or kickcast.net. I keep doing that. I don't know why. I don't even think I own double. Wait, no, I do. But kickcast.net. Too many domain names. Kickcast.net. That on Forbes, they actually took 4 different Super Bowl commercials because here in the United States, we love the American football. The football that everybody else thinks is fake.
Right,
But
right.
the commercials have always been big, so they took 4 of those, broke those down, and kind of wanted to tell you what worked with some of them and what didn't work with some of them and how you could apply them to your crowdfunding videos. So if you're a project creator, go check out that article because I thought it was pretty
But it's
informative.
kind of the trends in marketing, and so it's probably a nice way to apply that to what we talk about. So crowdfunding and Super Bowl ads. That's
Yep.
good
So
read.
so yeah, definitely check that out in our show notes. All right, so it is time for our kick shouts, which are our Twitter link shout outs. If you ever have a project you want us to mention, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net or facebook.com/kickcast or at night20 at kickcast@ktdata. Any of those will get it to us. And we have 2 projects to mention. Both of them are board games. So if you don't care about board games, I apologize. So our first one, this is actually from Genius Games or John Covey. And he has launched Subatomic and Atom building board games. So it's a deck builder. So where you actually use you take particle physics, put them together to create your own atoms. So you start out with your electrons and your protons, and you use that to build up your different atoms to win the game from that. So that one's a really cool one. Reason why I don't want to mention it because they're well over their $12,000 goal is
Yeah, wow.
I backed their last one. You may have remembered we did Cytosis. That was their worker placement game. I got it. I loved it. Like it was amazing. It like theme wise, it hit on all the right spots. And if you're a science nerd or even if you're a science teacher, I think these are great games to kind of have in your classroom to engage your students and have them learn even more. And Drew, I know last time you were making fun of me because you're like, you're double nerded on this, man. Actually,
Good.
triple nerding if you think about it, because it had science, board gaming, and a crowdfunding project.
And yeah, triple nerd, full triple nerd. You never go full triple nerd.
Yeah, and I can promise you, if you back the collector's editions, he goes all in with the components. Like it feels like a really solid collector's edition. In terms of that. And then our other project that the Double Burst guys made sure we wanted to mention, it is yet another deck builder. Have you noticed I like deck builders? This is called Eons and Legacy. So it's a cooperative deck building legacy game of post-apocalyptic fantasy survival. So it's a deck building game, and Eon's End is actually a deck builder. It's interesting in the sense that you don't shuffle your cards after you buy them, so you lay them down into your use pile in the order you want to draw them as,
Oh,
which kind of which is a lot different from a lot of other deck builders. But this one specifically is taking that system and then creating, I think, gives you additional other stuff too that you can. Whoa. No. Whoa.
did you die? I'm still here.
Whoa. Okay. That was weird. Really crazy background noise. So, anyways, so for Eon's End, what they're doing is they're taking that system, and I think you can use the characters from the other games, put it together, and you can use it as a legacy system. So it's a campaign and it's a legacy campaign, which means as you progress through the campaign, it remembers stuff and you change stuff in the game, so you can get extra power ups and stuff. So you can have multiple playthroughs, and your previous playthrough will influence what you do further down in the campaign. Um, and they launched today, and they're way past their $60,000 goal. They're at 210, almost
Wow.
210,000 already.
Wow.
I've played the original deck builder that they have on it. It's pretty fun. So if you are a deck builder fan, or if you kind of want a more kind of campaign setting where you can sit down multiple times and play through a story, I definitely tell you to check that out. Any of these interest you whatsoever, Drew?
I played a couple of deck builders here and there. I think I don't know that first one you mentioned with the subatomic particles. Looking at them, it's kind of fun. I'm down with that.
Oh, don't. Once your kids are old enough, my friend, I'm bringing all of these over, and we're going to science the crap out of game night.
They will love it. They will love it. Yeah. Yes.
Because I got excited and I played so the subatomic one. So I played the cytosis one with the double burst guys. They thought I was making up
Yeah.
words most of the time as I was playing, but I loved every minute of it. All right, so now time for our projects of the night. This first one, Drew, I don't think it applies whatsoever to you because I don't think you'd need this. But for someone like me who sucks at cooking and who has like not a lot of time to
Right. Right.
cook, this is something that I want. So our first project of the night is called the Sous Vide, and it is a kitchen robot with multi-zone cooking and refrigeration. So it is a like a almost like a, it looks like a toaster but a little bit bigger, or a toaster oven, but a little bit bigger. And what you do is it has different compartments for stuff, and it will cook all your food in the same compartments, and it knows how to control all the temperatures and stuff. Um, for you once you program it to start and it's internet connected to, and it even what my favorite part about it is it refrigerates your food until you're ready to cook it. So I could load it up in the morning and said, "Hey, I need this at 7 p.m. at night when I come back from work." And it will actually make the food for me. So it has a vegetables steam zone, a broiling element, a sous vide or a sous vide protein zone. So you can put your meat, seal it up, and it will do the sous vide thing for you. That slow cooking, like it's essentially boiling your meat, right? Cooking it as a starch zone for you, and then I love how it does the straight up refrigeration for you. So you load up all these compartments, set it, and it has a phone app. So say when I'm headed out the door on my way home, I can click on my phone, start cooking, and it will start cooking for me. This is everything I need. And what's cool about it is they even have kind of a Hello Fresh type service where they'll deliver you all the components that you need, packaged up, and there's NFC chips
Like
in all
food
of them.
components, like actual food parts.
Yeah, like the ingredients that I need, not components. The ingredients I need in these packages, and they all have NFC chips on them, and there's an NFC reader on it, so I can scan the item and put it in
Brother.
the compartment, and it already knows what is in that compartment and how to cook it, ready to go. Um, it has preset recipes. You can set your own recipes for it, and you can even do last minute substitutions, and it will adjust for you. Drew, why do you have that look?
I just look. I love a good smart kitchen, but this is like a lazy man's kitchen.
This is not a
I guess
lazy.
that's what you were saying, right?
This, this
Definitely
is
more for you.
some of us are culinary challenged. Okay, So,
It looks very fancy. It's super fancy.
like I can load up compartments and scan an NFC chip.
Yeah,
That's,
very,
that's,
very
that's the
perfect for you.
extent of my abilities to cook. but yeah, I love everything about this. That I can control it from my phone, see how the food's going, and how it has all these different cooking zones. Because that's always been like the problem, right? When you throw it into the crock pot, everything's all cooking at the same time, so
I,
your vegetables aren't crisp and stuff. This one, on the other hand, can individually do all of that stuff, and that's why I really like it. And they mentioned that it'll save you some time. I don't really care much about that. It's more that I can
feel
load a
hands off.
box.
And you just kind of,
I can
yeah.
load a box, and
It
fill up
looks
water. I can.
tasty. It does look tasty.
You look at all the food and stuff. You can make a chili roasted shrimp, Asiago chicken, meatballs de. I don't know how to say that word. But what's cool about it is it can make food for 2 to 4 adults. So, like, come on, Drew. Like, imagine this. I could load this up before we record a show, and when we're done with the show, my food will be ready for me to
True. That's
go.
true.
Like,
That's true. I could slide over here and open up the text box and be like, "Hey, I'll take a brownie and some ice cream, and it'll be ready before we're done with the show." I just tell my wife; she makes it for me.
like how Rev's already calling my house. If you're gonna put vegetables in a crock pot, you're gonna okay. See, this is why I need this.
You need this.
I just
You need this.
this, so this doesn't interest you whatsoever.
Not as much. Not
Okay,
as, I
okay,
think it's a cool idea,
okay.
but not for me.
Will make you want it a little bit more if you knew that it was designed by a former Apple engineer.
Gives me a lot of faith in it. Yeah, like, that does give me a lot of faith in it to know that. Yeah, okay, okay.
So
I did think the same thing when I saw the Nest, right? A former Apple engineer, and they brought the Nest, and then I talked to him a couple of times, and then I was like, good idea. And then I got mine, and I was like, amazing. And now I look at houses for house shopping, and if they don't have something smart like that, I'm like, they really know what they're doing. So I do love that has a little Apple in it. That is impressive.
yes, Rev, I can learn 43 programming languages, which I can't in a weekend, and research these projects. Can't figure out how to boil water. Yes, exactly, exactly. I just
This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
it's a different finesse. I
yeah.
don't work in the kitchen, man. You get used to working with chemicals that you're not supposed to eat. So when you start working with the ones that you are, it just doesn't work out. But they're well past their funding goal. Like they are at almost $500,000 right now, and they only wanted $100,000.
Oh wow, yeah, very
Four
good,
hundred and
very good.
forty-four thousand $400. Um, it's $479 for the Kickstarter, but I think it's totally worth it.
Really real.
I like the technology with it, but I also like how they've put in that food service stuff because I won't tell you that I'm completely useless when it comes to buying vegetables, but I'm sort of am too. Like when I go buy fresh vegetables and stuff, you better believe I'm the guy like Googling, trying to figure out how to find if it's ripe or not. Because
Where do I tap on it? What part do I sniff?
yeah, like with limes, what am I looking for? And like, because I'm like, you see people over there, they're like magicians. They're just like, oh yeah, that one's good, that one's good. I'm like, oh, look the same to me. So,
Oh, that's how
um,
that's how I feel.
but I do like the NFC chip with it. I think that's a little extra, but it's nice to do that, and it knows what all the ingredients are, so you don't even have to put in a recipe.
That is nice. That is nice.
So this is a backtrack or sack for you, my friend.
I, it's a track. Well, I mean, track. Like it's gonna fun. It's gonna happen. I think it's a great idea, and it's really cool.
I
It's
like,
not for,
yeah,
not for I don't need.
it's a back for me because they totally made this for for me who lives the bachelor life and can't cook worth crap. I don't think it would have been a back, but they have that refrigeration unit, so I love how that I can set it early on in the day, not worry about getting E. coli or whatever, and just let it go when it's ready to cook. So yeah, that is a back for me. It's called the sous vide, and I also love how it does the sous vide kind of cooking for induction. All right, so um,
Cool.
I've shown Drew something that I didn't need. What about our next project? Is this something that I need to back right now and get, Drew?
This is probably something that you absolutely need right now. Our next project is something that really has nothing to do with the quality of life. We're not going to help like make showering easier or eating easier. I just found a toy. So I found a toy that I thought would be fun to bag. So my project for the day is called the I Spin Turbo. It's the best toy
Turbo.
for everyone. And so really all they have is a 30-second clip of a top. It's a top. Spin the top.
It's a tub, but then you can pick it up. It still spins and let it go, and it still keeps on spinning. And let it
Super
go,
great
and
top.
it keeps on spinning.
It'll spin on both sides. It'll spin on your finger. You can play tricks with it. So I guess what I loved about it was just that it was, I don't know, it's nothing new. It's just a top. I wish I could say like this project has Bluetooth. It'll tell you how many revolutions per minute. It'll it'll tell you how long it's spun for, and
That's version 2, Drew. That's version 2. We
yeah,
gotta wait.
it'll keep track of your a spreadsheet of all of your spin times. No, it's just a top. It's just a top, but it's doing well. It's raised almost 28% of its goal so far. I have another 25 days to go. I like the look of it. The solid kind of dark shaft through the middle of the red glowing plastic. I love that. Um, they have a really ambitious ship time. They claim that they might actually get these things shipped out in March, which I think is when it ends, so it's not going to ship unless they have like maybe they have them made already. I guess it is in China. Maybe they
They
have like
might. I wouldn't be surprised if they've had these made already because I think right now it's the middle of the Chinese holidays anyway. So
yeah, it's Hong Kong. So yeah, perhaps things are just sitting in there and they're trying to like get them off on the road. But Price is Right, $10 for a spinning top. Like yes, it's totally unique. Like that's cool. I was playing with a yo-yo the other day, and I haven't played with yo-yos forever.
are you gonna recreate that video?
No, I'm
What?
not gonna recreate that
Come on,
video.
man! Come on, that was like the most.
I showed it to a lot of my students. I have a video from me in the same like when I went to school back in '99. No, 90, yeah, '99. Of me yo-yoing when I was like 25 years old.
That was before the Weber cooks.
Yeah, that was exactly. That was
Before Weber cooks, there was a famous yo-yo video of the one and only Drew Tyler guys.
no online back then. We didn't even put things online. So a student brought his yo-yo and let me play with it while we were shooting headshots and doing some other things for work. Um, it was a non-responsive yo-yo. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I've been so out of the gaming, yo-yo finger game. But it's a non-responsive yo-yo. So when you throw it down to like walk the dog, you can't just jerk it back up like a normal yo-yo. This thing, when you throw it down, you had to do some fancy finger work to actually get it to cinch up again. And anyway, I got a great headshot out of it with me and the yo-yo. But back to the Ice Spin Turbo. I think for $10, this is a sexy machine. And if you pull this out of your pocket and started whipping it around and spinning it and playing games with it, like it would be a hit. It would be probably enough of a hit to replace the fidget spinner. I might just buy a lot.
We're still talking about the Ice Spin Turbo, right? When you say you take it out of your pocket and whip it out.
And whip it out and make it spin fast. Yeah. Talking about the top.
Yeah, I like how you can spin it on your finger. That's actually what attracted me to looking at this project in the first place. Because they put this screenshot of it spinning on your finger. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I want to check that out, see how that goes. So this is a back for you, right? $10 is totally.
Yep, trying to back right now. $10, I can do that.
Yep, it is a back to me. And you know how we were joking about we can put Bluetooth into anything? Yes. I was walking in Target the other day. They actually have fidget spinners that connect via Bluetooth, so it tells you how fast you're spinning, and they gamified it too. So like you got to spin it at specific RPMs and stuff. And I think you can control the lights, the LEDs on it too, because it has LEDs in it.
I'm gonna have to go find this now because I think that's hilarious and funny.
Yeah, it's like $30 though. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for a fidget spinner.
That's fair.
So
we're crossing the line now.
Yeah, so this one's back to, I mean, because it seems fun. You know, like I feel like if both of us get it, what we should do is when there's like a crowd of people, we'll just have like a showdown, just stare at each other, and then both of us just whip out our tops and just start spinning them.
I like it.
Like, because you remember all those commercials when you were a kid? How that's usually what happens, right? You just look at the other kid, you flip it, and the next thing you know, there's just a crowd around both of you, and just spinning tops. Can we do that in real life?
Yep.
Like that's gonna work, right? When two grown adults do that.
Down. I spin turbo spin-off.
Spin-off. All right, so that's on Indiegogo. Search for an iSpin Turbo. Help them out. They're what is that? That's about a third of the way to their goal.
Yeah,
a little less than a third.
It's 6, so if they don't get it, they don't get it. But it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, 25 days left. It looks good. All right, so for our last project tonight, we had controversy. So you guys know that our last project, usually I put out a tweet and a Facebook post so you can vote for the project that you would like for a third project. Well, our third project, I searched, well, it won the vote, and then when it won the vote, I started doing this research, because usually I do it after you guys pick instead of before.
Right.
And it seemed a little suspicious. So the one that won was the Vital Class Anti-Theft Backpack. So you can see right here, they were looking for, what is that, $1,300, and they're at $1,800 right now. And it's a anti-theft backpack. So the way it's anti-theft is the zipper, instead of it being on the outside, it's actually a hidden zipper that's actually right next to your back. So you're going to notice if somebody's trying to open it up. And I was a little curious. I'm like, well, that's a little low for one.
Right.
For a project. And then it had a little, like, the video actually had this little box in the corner that said it was Lush Deal. So I actually searched Lush Deal. You can find this backpack
Oh,
on lushdeal.com for about the same price. Actually, it's a little less on the Kickstarter site. So I started searching a little bit more. So it's on Lushdeal. It's just a classic theft anti theft backpack. I
right,
searched a
right.
little more. I think this is the original site. Is on vitalgear.co, and they actually sell these vital bags, and one of them is a USB charging anti-theft backpack for $60. Um, and it's I guess it's like they're on sale right now, and it's almost out. But I looked at the details. So first of all, the Kickstarter project copied the text exactly from the Lush Deal website. Took the video from the Lush Deal website. So I started
Right.
researching this guy, this Owen Walker, and it says 2 projects created. When I clicked on it, it was the Vital Class anti-theft backpack, and then the other one was the WeCharge ultra long range wireless charger. So I'm like, well, let's check this out. So I clicked on it and saw why it was canceled. Because it's subject to
Um,
intellectual property dispute and is
property
currently
dispute.
unavailable. So
So there's a very good chance that this exact backpack will eventually become suspended in the same way.
yeah,
Because it looks like it's not it. Oh, that's
so don't back Owen Walker's. Go straight to Lush Deal or go to vitalgear.co and order it from there, because those are probably legit sites. I don't know for sure, but it seems like them because they're full shops. Um, and
funny.
get it from the original ones instead. So instead of doing that, we're gonna go back to our runner up project, because this got some votes too. Um, and let me ask you, Drew. Have you ever sat in your office and then looked at the ceiling and just like tried to throw something up and get it stuck? Remember when you're in high school, you would try to get pencils stuck into the ceiling
Pencils.
tiles?
I remember pencils, quite a few pencils, just trying to stick them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could do that, except with sort of like that, except use a ball. So this project is called the Ceiling Sport. It is the first ceiling sports game. So what it is a little like a basket dually thingy that you can see right here that attaches to your ceiling, and it's almost like an upside down net. And then it has
Yeah,
like
it looks like it's upside down.
teeth things on the edge of the bottom of the hoop. And the whole goal is to throw the ball through that net. Um, and that's really what it is. You just lay on your back under your bed and just keep throwing the ball and trying to get it through the hoop. And the reason they put the teeth thing at the bottom is to give you a visual indicator to see if you actually got it through the hoop or not.
Oh, because what I was thinking was that those teeth things were so as you're laying on your bed and staring up, you can pretend that you're about to fall into the starlight. That's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we were going to be Boba Fett instead
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it
I would
was
look up and I'd be like, it's just gonna come down and touch my face. But no, you're saying that that's just like a thing that'll show you whether or not you actually got it in and out
yeah.
of.
And so
Impressive.
it's kind of a basic thing, but they've designed it so if it does fall, it's not going to smash your face in too, because they that's one of the things is they've designed it so I think it's like a soft foam plastic thing, so if it falls, it's
Okay,
not going to hurt you. And then
okay,
they've made
okay,
sure that the adhesive they put on the back is pretty strong, so it doesn't fall in the first place. Um,
okay.
and I like one of the guys called it a work of art. Um, and he has it right above his head, so whenever he wants to take a break, he just leans back and just starts throwing the ball up through
Hmm.
the net and see. I don't know, see how many times you can get it
And
through in a minute.
you just go up and back like I did, so as straight
Yeah,
as you can go, just go up and back.
yeah. I mean, you
It's
could.
not
I
like you're
guess you could
trying.
do trick shots too if you wanted to be at an angle if you're not straight under it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Really like throw it in and have it come out a different way and have to catch it because it's like I went up and then it came out left or right. I
Yeah,
put a little fun into it, but this is like more of a just a mindless throw it up and back,
yeah.
up
And
and
they
back.
they said it's been pretty well recepted, and he has other ideas too. Like I think if this one is successful, because this one's kind of a basketball themed, he's looking for
Yeah.
like a baseball one where you're holding a mitt and throwing a baseball through the hole and stuff. Um,
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Does it seem like something you'd want?
Kind of. I mean, it looks kind of fun. It does address an interesting issue of we don't have any games on our ceilings. We very rarely, if ever, do anything above us, but yet we do spend quite a bit of time staring up. I do spend some time.
You lay
So it
down in
could
your
be a
bed.
fun distraction.
Yeah, my question is, do you feel comfortable having your kids throw a ball at your ceiling?
Yeah, if it's a little, a soft one, foam one, that's fine. They throw all kinds of things around here.
Because yeah, I would love
It's
this,
unbelievable.
but
So,
I would love if he did this with a pencil, so you can.
yeah,
it's just well, if we're gonna do this anyways, might as well get a scoring system up there, right?
that's right. A little dartboard and a point, pencil in the hole, and then you throw the big ball to like release them all. You'd be like, oh, hit the release button. They
That
all
doesn't
fall down.
sound safe. It's like, you remember lawn darts? This seems like it's long darts. As Rev just mentioned, lawn darts. Apparently, those are still around now, except the ends aren't sharp anymore; they're blunt. So
It takes the fun out of everything. Lawn darts are brilliant.
Did you ever have a friend like? I never had a friend that got like hit with the lawn dart, but somebody must have, right?
There were enough of done things. We all have to. We can't do anymore.
All right, so now it is time for our sack of the week. And this is fun because it's already been suspended by Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You
got it before we did.
So Drew, I'm not the fashionable one. I think you were you were far more the fashionable and stylish one. That's why I'm jealous. And so what happened is these guys wanted to create the best basic T-shirt we have ever created.
The best basic T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, you're hip with the kids, right? You know what it means when they say basic, right?
No, is it special? Is that funny?
It's like, oh my god, she went to Starbucks and she just got like a latte. How basic is that?
Oh wow!
She just sat in bed and watched Netflix. She's so basic.
So here's the basic T-shirt.
Yeah,
the best you've ever created.
So it's just a straight up T-shirt right here.
Wow.
White T-shirt. So white T-shirt, and white only, and yeah.
Did they say anything about what makes it special?
Let's see. Having been in design and entrepreneur field for more than 4 years, I've always had the idea to start a label of my own. Apparel is something that was always in my mind. While the fashion industry in Asia is saturated, we couldn't find a label that offered premium basics at an affordable price. Most basic T-shirts range between $10 and $30 and made of lower quality that do not last after a few washes. Wow. I can enunciate. While better quality ones are priced between $80 and $100. Have you bought a T-shirt for $80 or $120?
I never bought a T-shirt for more than.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow.
So yeah, we decided to provide high quality, form fitting T-shirts that will last for a substantial amount of time. We want our T-shirt to be an investment, something you can wear again and again, and serve as the foundation of your wardrobe for years to come. Something that just won't get worn out. Yeah. But it got suspended by Kickstarter because it does look a little fishy. Because all these images are stock images right here. Like even their manufacturing and research, this looks like they just took it off a factory floor somewhere. Where I'm like, okay, yeah. So I don't know. And then their T-shirts are looking for $25. There's an S in front. There's an S in front of the number, so I don't know if that's a Singapore dollars. I don't. Yeah. So I guess I don't know what that is in U.S. dollars, but so yeah. But Kickstarter suspended it 8 hours ago because it did seem a little fishy, right?
It's unbelievable that they would even think like I don't like T-shirts. They're just trying to make a quick buck, right? It's like, you know what? I'll just throw up some T-shirts and tell them that they're form fitted, and then go buy them at the store, and I'll get whatever $30 per T-shirt. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just
It's too
weird.
blatantly stupid.
And I could see why because it looks fishy for one thing, and it's not really anything new or innovative, which Kickstarter is kind of looking
Right.
for.
Right.
In terms of that, so like yeah, I could see why that they would suspend it because it's just a T-shirt. Oh, it's $18.96 American, so it's like $2 cheaper than what the guy says is a basic T-shirt.
No, I can't. Yes, I think it's horrible. What a ad. Come on, if you're gonna try and rip people off, there's better ways to do it.
Yeah. So Rev mentioned that some upscale places can charge $100 for a basic T-shirt. What? This must be at like Nordstrom's and all those high-end brands that I don't know. I only know Nordstrom, so shows you I don't shop in those places.
It's those places.
I mean, I thought a pair of jeans for $100 is expensive, but a T-shirt for $100 seems even more expensive to me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, so that's our sack of the week. Because I mean, Kickstarter thought it was fishy, so that's one thing. And really, a T-shirt doesn't even have a design.
I can't get it's just too blatantly dumb. That's what I can't get. That's hard part.
You'd back the sous vide over the
over the T-shirt. A little more faith in.
I'm telling you, watch, your girls are gonna go off to college one day, and you're like, man, I wish I'd just given one of these sous vides, so they'd have hot food ready to go before they get home from class.
They're gonna be fine. They will have a box of granola bars. They're gonna be a-okay.
Wow, granola bars, man! That's fancy.
That's how they're getting through.
When I was going through college, ramen noodles was
still ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles or a McDonald's run was. Wait, that still sounds like what I eat now.
Yeah, it sounds.
All right, and so unfortunately, guys, that is the end of this episode. If you guys have sacks of the weeks, projects you want us to mention, or any of that good stuff, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net or facebook.com/kickcast, or at kickcast for the show, at night20 for Drew, or at ktdata for myself. You definitely should follow at night20 because that's where all the coolness happens, to be honest.
Right.
Drew, coolness. You got anything you want to plug this week or to show off, or
trying to catch up.
I tell you should take one of Drew's classes, but what you really should do is, instead of taking one of Drew's classes where you'll get judged and graded on, you should actually just hire Drew as a personal trainer. So a 2-day on-site training.
There you go.
And he'll teach you everything you learn in the semester, and he won't even grade you for it.
I'll just take your money for private one-on-one, and I'll teach you everything I know, just like that.
So yeah, definitely check that out. And make sure you guys come check out our next episode, which is February 27th. I think. Yeah. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
I'll be here.
Yeah, so we'll be here. We'll find some even more cool projects. And maybe I'll find somebody who can geek out with me on all these science games. Make sure you check out kickcast.net for our show notes and everything. And until next time, my friends, see you all later. Bye.